let's try this one last time. SAP Sapphire 2019, my hot take on SAP's premier show for the year. SAP puts on 2 shows a year, SAP Sapphire Now and SAP Tech Ed. Some great points. SAP is having Sting. I think it's tonight. So I'm definitely tuning in for that. The one other time I got to watch Sting, I passed and I regretted it. So I am definitely, even if it's going to be virtual, watch Sting perform a special show at SAP. SAP knows how to put on a live event. However, SAP Sapphire Now 2020, because of COVID-19, was not a live event. SAP Sapphire 2019 was a event that was pre-recorded for the most part, that I could tell, and the energy just wasn't there. And one of the things I found consistent between that and Cisco Live is that they went too long. It was a 1-hour keynote, 15 minutes of countdown, and then another 45 minutes of their CEO and partners talking. I zoned out after about 45 minutes. So this is a hard lesson for anyone putting on a virtual event, especially a virtual event that is positioned at executive crowd. I mentioned SAP does 2 shows, SAP Sapphire Now, and SAP Tech Ed. SAP Tech Ed is more of my core audience, the technical crowd, and SAP Sapphire Now is is positioned towards executives. SAP has 450,000 customers, an extremely big and important company. 3/4 of the world's transactions flow through SAP. So SAP, it wouldn't be an understatement, is that SAP is one of the most technology companies in the industry. Really interesting technology company, because they're a technology company, but their customers are not technology contacts, meaning CIOs, director of IT infrastructure, etc. Those may be the folks maintaining SAP, but they are, and they may be the folks writing the check to SAP. And SAP might be in their budget, but they are not the SAP customer. The SAP customer is the person who bought SAP at the onset of the relationship. That's rarely ever the CIO. That's usually the CFO, the COO, the GM of manufacturing, the GM of a business unit. There was some value that they saw in this ERP that they thought could move the needle in their business, so they engaged SAP. After that engagement, the relationship shifts from the relationship with the person that bought SAP to the person who pays for SAP. The CIO, director of IT, director of infrastructure, etc., becomes that point of negotiation for renewal, licensing, maintenance, upgrades, etc. Why is this important? Because in the backdrop of SAP Sapphire is this 2025 date. If you're an SAP customer, you know what this date means. It is the date that SAP has given that you have to be off of non-SAP HANA databases. This has been a theme for the past 5 years. No one's surprised about it, but this is driving much of the conversation because SAP has bet much of their future on growth around AI, machine learning, and database revenue based on HANA, the in-memory database. The problem that SAP has is that their new customer, their contact, their point of contact, may care about in-memory databases, but the original customer that they sold SAP to remembers the implementation. They remember the changing of business processes, the adapting the culture to running their business around SAP. SAP has a really great branding handle, the intelligent business. If you're coming new into SAP and you adopt HANA moving forward, you're great. The problem is 10, 15 years from now, when you need to move, that point of contact, that relationship, whether it's the same person or virtually an abstracted role, the CXO outside of the CIO, that relationship is severed. Why do I say that? SAP, again, 450,000 customers, 3/4 of the world's transactions flow through SAP. It is a super critical, mission critical application in most environments. The environment that I ran, that was the SAP infrastructure. Our budget was completely separate from the rest of IT infrastructure. I had autonomy to make sure that I kept SAP up and running. I didn't have autonomy to make sure I kept SAP SAP modernized, that I had the ability to deploy HANA at will. I can't disrupt the business. The CXO can disrupt the business if there's enough value at the end of it. SAP has done not a good enough job to execute the communications plan to show their original customer that there's value. What does that have to do with Sapphire Now? You know what? If you look at the three major announcements from Sapphire Now, you look to whether or not SAP has the political capital to pull some of this stuff off. One, let's talk about the theme of the show. Talked about three core themes: resiliency, profitability through sustainability. So basically, COVID-19 showed you how a business can be disruptive, but if you built your business on innovation, then you can be resilient. If you build it on sustainability, then you can be profitable. So they had Porsche up talking about their electric vehicles. SAP talked a lot about green technologies. While those are great social issues, they're noise around what's important from a technologist perspective. The first interesting announcement is that they were going to open up Ariba to business owners like me to help with the problem with diversibility. To diversity. You know what? That's to be honest, that's just noise. Of the three major announcements I saw, that's just Ariba Network is not positioned to make my business better. It's positioned so that large companies can manage their vendor relationships like me. I don't get any pleasure or sense of gain productivity or additional business opportunity anytime I use the Ariba portal. The only time I ever use the Ariba portal is when I get a PO from one of my large vendors that uses it to manage my relationship, or when I need to invoice that vendor. It's just necessarily overhead. So we'll skip by the Ariba announcement. I don't think it's material for my audience. The second thing that they announced, I think, is material. They announced a fundamental change in the relationship with the major cloud providers: Alibaba, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. They call them commodity infrastructure providers. So if you want virtual machines, storage, networking, internet access to run SAP, those are the providers that SAP will partner with to provide that base capability. But from the application level up, SAP owns that responsibility. I found that really interesting because I haven't seen any announcements from SAP talking about their growing their internal capability to run SAP like ECC, proper SAP. I'm not talking about success factors or Ariba, but their core product, ECC, as a service, so to provide basis support. So I'm a little bit unclear on what they mean by that. Are they going to continue to focus the relationship on the Dell EMCs, the Hitachis, the Accentures, the HPEs of the world, or are they going to up level their skill set to be able to manage a cloud offering the scale of SAP ECC for their 450,000 customers? Third thing that they announced was their business network, because you have, if you look at the application stack, you have IT infrastructure, the cloud providers relegated to this commodity stack. You have the application layer, which SAP says that they will provide value. Then this third business relationship layer, connecting their 450,000 customers. Ideally, if you're a steel manufacturer and you're the general manager of steel production for a steel company, and you want a relationship with the logistics manager of a car manufacturer, SAP with 450,000 customers across industry seems like a pretty good conduit for making that business connection. However, in practice, if we go back to my original soapbox about SAP and their lack of relationship with their important customer, I don't see SAP having those relationships and contacts. If they did, we wouldn't be stuck at this HANA number. Let's drill into this HANA number. I don't know what the latest stack is, but there was somewhere around 3,000. Let's say SAP tripled the number and they're at 15,000 HANA customers over 5 or 6 or 10 years, however long HANA has been out. In this known cliff of 2025 being out there, that you need to get off of legacy databases, SAP from SAP's perspective, legacy databases. It takes 4 months now for an SAP partner to migrate you from SAP non-HANA to HANA. Let's say that there's 1,000 SAP partners globally and 450,000 customers yet still needing to migrate to SAP HANA. SAP can't even get that done. I mean, literally, there's not enough partners to get 450,000 HANA deployments done over the next 5 years. So I'm not exactly sold on the idea of SAP providing a business network, because they haven't been able to make the argument to their current customers that they need to invest in the next generation SAP technology, which I'm not knocking. Great technology. They just haven't been able to convey that message. So I'm not sure about the 3 major announcements coming out of SAP HANA. Out of SAP Sapphire 2020. Their ability to extend the Ariba network to folks like me that I would care, their relationship with cloud providers, and their business network. Last point, I saved it for last, this point of diversity. SAP is not a diverse organization. We all know that. It's a German-run company. They now have a German-run CEO after having a US-based guy for a little while. They kind of punted on the social justice parts of what's going on in the world. The first 15 minutes of the countdown, I think, was kind of their attempt to make sure that they fell flat. As a Black person, they fell flat. I didn't get any sense of sincerity from any efforts that they did. Again, I mentioned the Ariba network was the Ariba application being open is supposed to help my business. I don't see how it will. It hasn't in the past. I've been a Ariba user for a couple of years now, and it's, again, more of a headache than it is anything beneficial to my business. So just a little critique. SAP, you need to do better. That's it for this episode of the CTO Dose. If you want to learn more about the CTO Advisor, follow me on the web. TheCTOadvisor.com is the blog. @CTO Advisor is the Twitter handle. Talk to you next, CTO Dose.